And we are here on a marvelous Monday. And of course, we are in the
Bozard Ford Studio.
Damn right we are. And it's Bollocks this evening. And we have a very, very special guest. And we're going to get to this special guest right after we pay some bills.
I think we should.
All right. And I'm going to tell the wonderful people about
Bozard Ford.
Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is to make sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rater. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by the Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
For over 20 years, A to Z Roofing and Waterproofing has been St. Augustine's trusted name in roofing. From cedar shake and tile to flat roofs and designer shingles, they've got you covered, literally. Specializing in painted metal roofs for saltwater area homes with warranties up to 25 years and cedar shake shingle warranties up to 50 years. A to Z puts customer satisfaction first, free estimates, top-tier materials, and service you can count on. Visit A2ZRoofingandWaterproofing.com. A to Z Roofing, protecting homes from the top down.
All right, and we got to talk about the great people at Mr. Electric. Need a trusted electrician in St. Augustine? Call Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, local veteran-owned business providing expert residential and commercial electrical services across St. Johns, Flagler, and Putnam counties. From panel upgrades and lighting installs to safety inspections and EV chargers, their licensed pros do it all. With upfront pricing and satisfaction guaranteed, backed by the neighborly done right promise. Flexible scheduling, no surprises, just dependable hometown service. Call 904-829-1217 today or visit online and request service. That's 904-829-289. Whew, dyslexia and numbers even got me.
Oh, yeah.
We'll try that again.
Job.
904-289-1217. Mr. Electric of St. Augustine, your local power experts. That'd have been terrible calling.
You okay there?
That'd have been terrible calling the wrong person.
I know. Right.
You are Mr. Electric. Right. I just heard it.
When you're in the mood for a great breakfast that you don't want to cook at home, you're in luck. You have a choice of two. Whether it's hubcap-sized pancakes, creative omelets, or a burger and fries, both Anastasia Diner and Moultrie Creek Diner are neighborhood favorites. The coffee's always hot and fresh, the service comes with a smile from new friends, and each meal is a chance to make memories while you share stories. It's more than the food on your plate. It's the sense of community that comforts you while you eat.
You wrote that one.
Yeah, but I wrote enveloped you. You wrote comfort.
Who envelops?
It's a warm embrace, like the pancake if you put the sausage in it, like a pig in a blanket.
Who uses that word?
Envelop?
Let me envelop you. No, let me comfort you. You don't envelop someone.
Well, you can comfort and envelop them.
Who envelops?
Wrap your arms around them.
Okay.
All right. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's more than food on your plate. It's a sense of community that comforts you while you eat.
There you go.
And envelops you at the same time.
Yes.
Enjoy a meal at either Anastasia Diner or Moultrie Creek Diner and tell them Andy sent you.
Yeah, envelopes you.
Right.
All right. We also have other amazing sponsors. We have Brightway Insurance, St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum, St. Anastasia Construction Group, Solar Stick, Bear Kresge and Associates, Powell Heating and Air, Meehan's Irish Pub, A.D. Davis Construction, St. Augustine Distillery, and Citygate Spirits. All right. That's an amazing group we got right there. Mm-hmm. We have paid the bills, Lenny.
Yep.
Now, Lenny, I didn't tell you who our guest was. So I'm going to allow you to give the introduction of our guest because you were very excited about having him in, and you thought I was going to put him on the morning show, which we talked about. But
not made me happy.
He is here for you today.
We have the pleasure of having the ringmaster extraordinaire, the circus creator, Mr. Kevin Venardos, in the house.
Hi, guys.
And Kevin has been coming down to St. Augustine since, was it 2019, did you say?
2017.
That's when I first met you then.
Yep.
Because I first met Kevin on a Saturday morning at the Amphitheater Farmers Market. Before his circus had even come to town, he was just generating business and word of mouth. And you and I had a great conversation, and then another one the following week. And when that circus came to town, we got tickets, and we were there. And it's wonderful.
Oh, thanks, man.
It's wonderful, Kevin. You do it in the parking lot of the amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now. You can get the tickets. I recommend it because it sells out. it has become a local holiday hit in St. Augustine. It's become a family tradition in my family.
Tradition that's the dream.
Okay. I'm too excited
You
for
are
this.
super excited, and I'm so happy that you're happy that Kevin's here. And Kevin, thank you for coming in.
You're welcome.
No, but you have
It's a
something
pleasure to be here.
so cool and unique. Mm-hmm. You own a circus, man.
There aren't too many people that
How cool is that?
can say that. I mean, it's the result of me following my dreams.
Yeah.
But it's also the result of a team of people who are making it all possible. So to say you're the owner is, I'm nothing without the
You are
team.
the ringleader.
The ringmaster.
Tony Soprano, Jimmy Hoffa, those guys are ringleaders.
Right.
The guy at the circus is the ringmaster.
Ringmaster. All right.
Let's get our phraseology down.
Right, please. We don't want to make anybody upset.
No, right. I was actually born and raised, well, I was born in Silver Spring, Maryland, but then I lived a lot of my young life in northern New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So the route that Tony Soprano drove back through the Lincoln Tunnel, my dad came back in, he would go up the Palisades and then come across the George Washington Bridge. Across the George Washington Bridge and then go up the Palisades to get back home. And so that is where I grew up. And you're either Jewish or you're Italian. Or, the diversity of New York City is all around there, but those cultures are such a part of my imagination. So,
And not a fine line of difference between the two.
yeah.
Speaking of somebody who's half Italian, half Jewish.
That's awesome. I know what good bagels are supposed to taste like.
Exactly.
That's, yeah.
But Kevin, tell us a little bit how you started, because if I'm not mistaken, you worked for Ringling Brothers as their ringmaster.
Yes, well, because I grew up next to New York City, my folks took me in to see shows when I was a kid. And those memories and experiences being in a theater and having music to tell a story is the thing that is definitely a big part of my imagination of what a dream could be when I was a kid growing up. The circus, I went to school for musical theater. I'm a liberal arts kid.
Okay.
I have nothing to complain about. Well, it was difficult coming out of that world of college and then discovering, I have to do these things and make a life happen. Right. And so I had 3 jobs there in New York, and but I was 2 years out of college, and I got a job from an open call as the ringmaster of the Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus. It's for a singer.
Yeah.
It's a singer who wore sparkly outfits and pointed at people doing amazing stuff.
And you can talk with your hands.
And at the time, there were elephants and floats and 300 people on the show. And there's a giant train pulling everything. I lived on the train.
That's wonderful.
I lived all across the country. I lived on the Ringling Brothers Circus when 9/11 happened. I was standing outside of my train car in the ringmaster outfit that Tuesday morning. And I was waiting for a pickup to go to a school to do an event for kids to promote the show. Mm-hmm. And somebody had put their DirecTV dish out on the side of the train and was picking up the story. And I found out that there wasn't going to be any PR that morning. Right. And I also then found myself in this really amazingly unique kind of other world, but in a time when, when we have an enemy that we can define as a country, we get very good at coming behind each other, and the flag fills with, sometimes pride and meaning. I think that that moment was one of those times when, the circus had the stars and the spangle, and it was something that was pure and at least sought to bring joy, and it was comforting, I think. So being up there and then also singing the national anthem at the start of every show in front of an arena filled with people. Imagine yourself being in Madison Square Garden in that moment and singing as a giant elephant walks around the track. Those are some core memories, and they're part of my DNA. And they are that energy, I'm sure, that reservoir, and seeing what's possible when people work together at that scale. I knew that I was going to have to convince some of my friends to believe in my dream with me. Yeah. And so just the size of that operation and living that experience gave me a frame that this idea that I have, it's not that crazy. Mm-hmm. It can be done if we actually put our heads together and make it happen. And I have to let go of old thinking in many ways, because my goal is to build community. I want to build bridges. I want to have people who think very differently enjoy the same experience together and find some inspiration even, but to relate in person in an analog way with other humans. There's something that's, I think, extremely important about that. It always has been somehow in my heart, but because of the times and the scrolling feed, the doom scrolling, you know.
So growing up, you guys are still in a tent. And I remember the circus coming through town, and they would do like the parade in town, and then I was always out near the airport in the land is where the circus was at. I mean,
what show was that? Clyde Beatty Cole Brothers, or what? It was Ringling?
It was Cole Brothers.
Cole Brothers, okay.
It was Cole Brothers, and actually there was a Dobbs circus that wintered in DeLand. It was in DeLand, Florida. Wintered in DeLand. But it was always a big hype thing, and the tent was there. And I think when I first went to your circus, that took me back to my childhood.
Yes.
And I was always the class clown. Like, so when you were at your first circus, did you associate with the ringmaster right away, or because I always associated with the clown, obviously not the strong man. I was always, I always wanted to make people laugh and have that. So, question for you too, Lenny. Who did you associate with as a child in the circus? Because everyone kind of gravitates towards somebody.
When I was growing up, I'm Gen X, so I'm about to turn 50 next year. So for some context of when this is born in the 70s, I know at least there's, I'm that much not, I'm not old. I just want to make that clear to everyone listening here. I am not old.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. I've got a few more months while I'm still 49 here, but it's just I feel a sense of nostalgia for the circus that I am portraying in this world that I've, with the help and collaboration of so many different artists. And, it's not just what I imagined, but what was possible. What it's come to be is just an evolution of that. But so many people who come to see the show, they never saw something like this before, really. Mm-hmm. Right. But they saw Dumbo. Right. There are images that are woven into the fabric of our collective imaginations and, generationally as Americans. And I think the circus is in there in some ways. I think there's been a long pause while there's been some hairy feelings and divisiveness, And I mean, I'm tuned into the circus. I don't know how many people here actually have seen a circus in the last while. But it's about building that community. People have entertainment and access to immediately changing the subject. The circus is about humans physically interacting in a space. And the thing is that if I put our circus in the right place, we end up driving families who buy tickets. And those people end up spending money at other local businesses, and it ends up building community. The business owners have dreams. They want to do things in the community. If we can help them grow their customers, and if they're providing a great product or service, and we work together, there's a lot of strength in helping each other make their dreams come true. Does that make any sense to you guys?
It completely makes sense. Completely makes sense. So the transition of you going, okay, I'm going to make this dream come true from where you were at, because I mean it still sounds like a really fun gig being the ringmaster at a big circus like that, and
you can make it whatever you want it to be,
and you're making your dreams come true, and now you've doubled down on it. You're really stepping up. Like you went from 20 something to 45. That's what I heard.
Venues. Yeah, this year, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a lot of road time also, and so
planning.
At what point while you're standing in Madison Square Garden are you going, I'm going to do this all on my own and make it my own?
Not at all. That was not the moment. That was already like a sort of zenith moment. It's like, wow, how can this get better? But life moves forward, and I'm only going to be useful to someone else as long as they see value in me if I'm an employee somewhere. Mm-hmm. And being at the circus, different people react, and not everyone is meant to live this endlessly crazy life entrepreneurially. And it's a wild ride. It's not like I'm kicking back and drinking margaritas every night right now. There's a lot of work. It is endless and bottomless, but there's this amazing community of people that are out there on the road that are living this life and making this happen. And they're doing something that's, I think, an important work. And we are interacting with communities all across the country. And some of them wear red, some of them wear blue, some of them wear rainbows, some of them ride in on a donkey, some of them ride in on an elephant, if you get the picture, if you know what I mean. And we are making them all, we're breaking down sort of walls, bringing people together in a way that I think is so healthy and good. Because the only way we will ever move forward is together. That is like the message of the circus, and it's what I want to spend my life sharing with people, inspiring them to recognize that.
Yeah, it's hard to be unhappy once you walk into the big tent. Once you walk into the big top.
That too. It's supposed to be a hug. Just if you think of those cartoons you used to watch as a kid in that magical land where anything was possible. And my wonderful friend Dave Letterfly, relationship collaboration that we've had for now many years, but virtually everything inside the circus is hand painted. All of the banners, we do these things called fun boards where I have some weird scenes where you can put your face in, and it's like a shark at the bottom and a guy jumping off at the diving board at the top, 300-foot tower. So everything in there, even the VIP wall that has all of our logo on it, repeated like 30 times, all of that is hand painted. And I think that on some level, people feel like a vibration that it's from a simpler time, and there's a breath that happens. So that's one of the parts of our magic.
And even when you get to be old like me, the circus still makes you young.
Yeah,
good.
You know, it just brings you back to your youth. Because I was very fortunate to see Ringling Brothers Circus in Madison Square Garden almost every year they came to town.
It's a big show.
Yeah, yeah. And, and back then you had the menagerie. You had anything you could do. You could get in early and go through the menagerie and see all the animals before they came into the big top. And we were fortunate too, because I had there was a gentleman who was the costumer for one of the two Ringling troupes, and he would get us in early every year because he had worked for my uncle when my uncle was a band leader, a gentleman by the name of Larry Roby. And he would take us backstage and show us around, and man,
In Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
It's exciting. You're walking next to the elephants and all that.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
And the elephants too, and you said when the circus comes to town, first thing they would do in New York, they would take those elephants off and run them right down the main street. Yeah. Every place you go.
That was one of my most incredible experiences in 2004, just riding the lead elephant out of the Midtown Tunnel. It was 2002. And that was quite a time. It was the first time that the circus was coming back into New York after 9/11. And so everywhere was orange alerts. And, they parked at the time, they parked the elephant cars down there in Long Island City. You walk through the Midtown Tunnel and then across 34th Street to get up into the garden, because you can't come up through Penn Station. There's no way the elephants could fit.
Those are tough stairs for me.
Absolutely.
And they're not fitting on the escalator.
And I remember there being a wall of light bulbs and NYPD, huge presence of NYPD in front and behind on either side of us. And yet there are people defiantly with their kids on their shoulders out there along the street and just screaming at us and waving and feeling that. It was an incredible time for anyone who's aware of that time, for so many horrible, but also amazing and inspirational ways to the things you discover about each other when you go through a tough time. So anyways, all that energy is encapsulated. It's in my blood.
Yeah.
And that is part of what led me just to keep moving forward with what I'm working on. Yeah.
And I'm a huge Cirque du Soleil fan. A fan. I mean, I've seen like 8 or 9 of the different ones, and
they're amazing. It's an amazing thing.
Absolutely amazing. But I think you bring a taste of that in your circus. I've been 2 or 3 times. I haven't been in the last 2 years. I will be there this year.
Right on.
Because my 6-year-old is ready.
It's a good show this year.
Ready for the circus. But with that, the amazing acrobats, the talented people, how do they come to you at this point? Because you've been at it for a little bit, or do you seek out and recruit like, hey, that fits really well into the flow of a show? So how do you put that together?
The human capital at the circus is the absolute most important part of everything. And there's no real distinction in my view in terms of artists and team. That there's the performers are over here and the people who work on the tent are over here, that we're all separated. Operationally, we are, of course, we do have some people working remotely on permits and various other things, but at the unit, we are a team. There are people that have a broader set of responsibilities than others, but there's no room for or need for managers. Remind you, this is a 22-person team, so there are some things that are still possible with a team of this size that once you get considerably larger are going to change by necessity. But we must and we have to be communicating with each other. We all need to have clear expectations of each other. We need to, as an entire team, be discussing whatever. There's no real sensitive information. If there's a personal matter, that's personal, but I talk with people about the business reports all of the tent crew, everyone's there with me. They all know what's going on. We know what attendance is going to be. We talk about what we're working on with press and how we're sharing our story. Also, we're doing a lot of work interpersonally on each other because in an intimate setting like Venardos Circus, when you walk up to the tent, I want you to feel magic at every moment, from the moment that you see the thing at a distance, that it's clean, everything is in place. But that when you walk up there, the person that's at the front is excited to greet you, that you're getting amazing customer service, that the whole experience, every moment, an opportunity we have to touch and be with you, I want it to be awesome. And if we as a team who live and work together 45 weeks of the year, just imagine that, let that sit in your brain for just a moment there. It means that everyone is the same. We're all human, but most of us live a life 9 to 5. We get through that time, and then we go back to our home, a significant other, and say, what the, this guy's a fling of a heart. And you get it off your chest. It's not the entirely healthy, I think, way to live a life, but people exist in that space for decades, for whole careers. At the circus, there's no way that we will last several weeks if we don't have that capacity to talk about. That means if you see a problem, you don't, in the middle of the workday, say, hey, you're a piece of... No. If you respect them and you wish the team to be successful, you say, I got something really important I want to talk to you about. Do you have 5 minutes to talk to me? Is now a good time, or when is a good time? You tell me. So that you're not reaching someone from a defensive posture. Right. Mm-hmm. And then 3 things. 1, you describe the issue. Cold, not positive or negative, just describe it. 2, tell them how it made you feel, because nobody can argue with how you feel. You own that stuff. And then offer a request for what you'd like to change. And in this way, if we approach this kind of problem solving or challenges, we have a much better chance of actually achieving something positive as a result of the conversation. And we're moving. Every 2 weeks, we have this intense load out, intense load in. Imagine living like that if there's some junk that's not being dealt with. So in this way, we're able to now consistently travel. We all across the country and put this thing up in 8 hours, and it's ready to go. And we do usually a 2-week run, and then we load it out and move another 500 miles to the next city. And we do that for 45 weeks of the year.
It's incredible because, and this is, there are certain karmas and rhythms that happen in our world. And last week, you watched Troy's 2 Cents last week. It was about disagreeing respectfully. Mm. All right. And everything you just said is pretty much what I was trying to get across to a lot of people and leaders in our society, in our community. And you just, I should have had him do Troy's 2 Cents with that.
The circus is an amazing sort of culture dish. Mm. To observe these things and to grow. I mean, we're all human. We're being asked on a real regimented schedule to do a series of impossible things that we're doing like it was water off a duck's back. And that's only the result of lots of work and working on this level to be clear about expectations, to develop a deep sense of respect for each other, and also we've been able to have. There's good housing there, and we have 45 weeks. People are getting paid. We have whole families they've had their children. They become U.S. citizens. That we've bought homes, or the circus has helped them finance homes outside of the circus. Some core people that have now been with me since 2018, touring straight ahead. So to see what's possible as a family grows. My family. I'm a solo owner on the circus, and I have my 2 girls, or my family. I have 4 and 5-year-old girls, but the people in my life are my circus family. And I've spent so many years with them, and our lives are so intertwined, our dreams are so intertwined, that I really do feel that they're part of my family. And in fact, a couple of them are, because of their commitment, they have been vested a percentage ownership of the company. And that's another key thing, that if I really expect whoever's going to run these things when I'm not there to care about it as if it was their own, it has to be their own in some way.
And your cast, Kevin, is multicultural and international.
Definitely.
You've got acts from all over the world, all over the
entire globe.
Yep. Which makes it so interesting.
Definitely. And then add to that the difference culturally we have in the space.
Right. And the talent that they bring.
Yeah, but that makes the circus amazing.
Yep.
That makes the show so good. That makes us so amazing. All of the things that make us different. And if we could move more in a direction where we just keep going to the circus together, I suppose we'll be all right.
That's it.
Yeah, and with that team, in the multicultural, you've worked in restaurants with multicultural. I work with a multicultural company also. Listening to, because the way you grew up in Maryland, New Jersey, completely different.
Hey, bada bing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Completely different than someone from Belarus.
Right on.
If you're not listening to each other, it's going to create that conflict.
100%.
And I think you've created that culture, and it shows in the performances of the ones that I went to. So, who provided you with that skill set to come up with that? I mean, a lot of the things I learned was with my previous job, and I learned from children in Parks and Rec. I learned this is the reaction and reacting. Working with children, I think, made me a better dad. What made you a better leader and ringmaster? As you gathered your inventory and as you gathered your experience.
Failing.
Yeah, that's a great teacher.
Failing miserably, and somehow moving forward. Sometimes there's collateral damage when you fail. Relationships are difficult, and they can be echoing out over years. And I think that the great discovery, when I was a kid, as I look back, I remember believing that if I just ignore this homework, it will somehow get done. And I guess you can squeeze through some of your life thinking that somehow and making excuses for yourself. But the main thing is when you see that there's an issue, and the issue might be that this isn't a good fit, you have to speak up about it right away. The longer you let things fester, even if it's a small thing, there's those little things that grow and become cancerous. And ultimately, we disrespect ourselves, we disrespect others when we're not really clear about what we want. Because if it's what we want, then that's what we've got to get to. And so trying to behave in a way that is what you think others want you to gain their approval, to gain their empathy, their support. If they're not going to be with you, obviously you want to offer all of your comments and interactions in a respectful way. You don't talk badly about people. When we disagree, there's got to be some reasonable way to regard each other as humans. But that if we have a difference, that not that I'm like drawing lines, but if someone needs to know that this isn't going to work out,
right,
we need to know. We need to talk about it right now. We need to establish what the thing needs to change. Need to write a plan, a very specific one. Write it down about what needs to change and a date by which we can agree that we need to implement those changes. And then if we've gone to all of that and it doesn't happen, that person can't stay on the team anymore. if you allow people who once given a clear opportunity, and sometimes it's a second and third opportunity, you think that would be somehow a negative or create a cold environment where this kind of personal touch and care that I've been talking about could exist. Mm-hmm. It's exactly the opposite of what you would think. When you allow junk to float around, people feel disrespected. They don't treat the place with respect, and then the experience goes down. When there's a level of discipline in the place, and you can see people are held accountable again, according to our agreement, we make this agreement in advance, that they're held accountable to what they're promised. And we find a way as a team to work together to figure it out. Always have a collaborative spirit, but if a person doesn't want to do it or can't do the things they promised, they can't stay. Do I sound dark and horrible in the world out there? I'm thinking about, because I care so much about the people. That's why running things in a clean, orderly way is like the ultimate demonstration of love and respect for them, and then ultimately for the audience.
And you have such a small group that is in charge of doing so many different things. You know, having gone to it so many years that I've seen and enjoyed the circus, you realize that, you know, one person is not just an acrobat. Everybody has multiple roles in the circus. You know, even the roustabouts that are putting up and down the scaffolding and building the tent, they're on stage for half of the things too. And a couple of them are getting some really big hands, you know.
They're amazing. Mm-hmm. It's an amazing crew. And we're, you know, obviously you're saying everyone arrives on the lot, let's say on a Monday. This is how the routine goes. We have a 5-person tent crew, and they do some prep work Monday night. They're driving stakes, and they're raising the towers up into the air for the tent, and they're arranging some large pieces of equipment, the tent top in place. But then it's 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Everybody, the artists, the tent crew, concessions, it's a group of about 22 people. We all put that top up. We all build a big riser. We build a big stage. We hang art and curtains and lights and all the concessions equipment, and it's to the nines and dealing with all the permits and everything, put it all up. We do that together. There's no like, I'll be in my dressing room. That's the thing. A willingness. And again, it's not about you have to lift 50 pounds. You have to be who you are, whatever you got. I would never delegate to anyone something that they cannot healthfully and sustainably do. I want us to be successful. But there's so many small tasks that need to get done at the circus. If it's delegated appropriately, and we all just promise that we're going to be there for the time we need to be there for the team, and we give everything we have, make ourselves available and be present, it makes the whole in and out experience like something you're proud of. And it just raises the level of respect that you have for everyone else who works with you. You're not just there because, and someone's taking care of you. We're all looking out for each other. And this is the living part of that message, that if we just say it with our words, it doesn't do anything. We have to actually live your circus dream. I've got right there. Can you see that?
Yeah. Live your circus dream. All right. Yep. So barnstorming.
Okay.
You know, I travel with an old school barnstormer. And
what is barnstorming? I feel dumb.
Barnstorming is like the Harlem Globetrotters. And I was with a group called the King and His Court for a little bit.
So a traveling basketball show is a barnstorm.
Baseball, softball.
But like tricks.
They go from town to town.
These are exposition games or okay.
Yeah. They go from town to town to entertain people.
It's not
it was very, very popular in the 40s and 50s. But you actually set up camp. And each one of your shows are about 2 weeks long.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean, you're actually setting up. And so you're going to have 45 different cities that are home for a
2-week period.
For a 2-week period this year. How many of these 45 are repeats?
That's a great question.
That you're heading back into.
You're digging in.
And is St. Augustine obviously your favorite?
I love St. Augustine, and I mean, this is the first city we will have ever visited for an 8th time.
Yeah.
Which is a huge accomplishment. I count that among like the most powerful evidence of a success is how long that I've had that relationship with that city, and it's still proven to be a place where I'm providing value and it's providing value to the circus. And St. Augustine has done that consistently and grown every time we've come back. I'm incredibly grateful. I have a house here, and so there's roots here. So yeah, I mean, I love being here.
And you time it out wonderfully for the city, too, because you do it in December every year. You do it at a holiday time in St. Augustine, which is a magical time between the Nights of Lights downtown and everybody just being so overly festive.
It's awesome. And the amphitheater's closed. The amphitheater's closed at that time.
Yeah.
So for the county, it's a good deal. And I'm also incredibly grateful to Gabe and the team over there at the amphitheater. And, moving a circus in and out is also, it's a lot of logistics, and our friends at the farmers market are there. I've been incredibly grateful to have had very good coffee and those little burrito rolls. What are those breakfast ones down there?
Oh, yeah.
So many years. That guy, are you out there? What is that guy's name?
I don't know. I don't know. Be careful, because if you get in a conversation with him, you are not getting out of that conversation too quick.
Yeah, right on.
I mean,
I'm sure he could keep up with him.
His breakfast rolls are great, but boy.
If you're saying that really makes me nervous.
Right on.
I'm telling you.
They're great people who have been looking after the place, and they have to put up with a circus that's there for a couple of weeks. I think that it's a good value for the county, for the venue. We have a relationship where they're getting something out of it, and then also, of course, we're benefiting from being at the amphitheater, which is an amazing venue, and has had so many wonderful artists visit that place. And now it's allowed us to build that relationship with all these people who come to St. Augustine for a holiday visit. And it's huge. I'm so grateful to the city for the way that they have supported our dream. And I'm so super grateful to be here at the amphitheater.
And the way, because you didn't really let him answer that question, Lenny, you actually jumped in there. The way you do the scheduling and the new cities, how challenging, like, it's almost like old hat for you here is what I was trying to get to. These new cities that you have, there's always going to be hiccups and stuff like that. And you probably have to schedule around weathers geographically and stuff like that.
Yes.
What is the most challenging city that you're thinking about right now? You're about to go into your 2026 season. Challenging new city, some challenges that you get our audience don't think about, but if you're in charge of a circus, you have to think about this.
There's so much you can do to dive into demographics about a place and research things and look at the venue. And there are certain boxes that get checked that means you might have a slightly better chance. But in the end, you have to go into a city and you have to do business there, and the people are going to show up or they don't. Now that the payroll is bigger and the operating expenses are higher, there's less of that. There's more pressure to arrive in cities where it's going to deliver. I think that if we took the circus pretty much anywhere and we just kept going back year after year, you build an audience there. But how long and how costly is that process? And so we need to find places that are going to react to our marketing campaign and our product in a way that's going to be most effective for us. And the bottom line is there's only so much we can do. We have to go out there and succeed or fail. And key, must be able to adjust dynamically as we're moving through or leading up to an engagement. We've brought our digital marketing in-house. It's been with an agency out in Colorado for several years now. And so now our in-house team is actually handling all of the Meta and Google buys on the ads and such like that. And we also got, out-of-home advertising and different opportunities through the venues themselves, and also really working hard to grow what we're doing online with social media and sharing the story in that way. And so all of those things together still mean that when you are trying to expand into 45 cities, you still have to get out there and fall on your ass. And you've got to also deal with the fact that, the news feed and people's buying and spending habits as the economy evolves, it's not, the world's fault or woe is me. It's what must we do to adjust to the situation and navigate in the best way possible. And we are definitely having extended ourselves to so many cities this year is a huge thing, but the strength of the relationships that we have with some key cities across the country, including St. Augustine, which is such a special place and like a beginning place, but it really is also representative of a significant success for the circus and just the community engagement. We're not making money come in unless we are generating a revenue for people in a community. Certainly not long term. Maybe that sounds weird. We're of course spending money on advertising like we would anywhere through Meta and Google, but when we can make a connection with local community, when people talk about that and it becomes part of we're in Winter Garden right now. I have people showing me photos of when their kids were infants, and now, they've been to see the show the last 5 years they can remember. There's ones that were in high school and now they have their own home and family here or whatever, or out of college, whatever there's people that have now spanned a 7-year period. Where you think about all the things that happened in your life over a 7-year period. And it's been the pandemic and all of that stuff. Yeah. We all somehow have touchstones in experience. So people they see that tent go up. There's enough of them around there now that they see that tent go up and there's memories. And that is an exponential power when you get to that place and you have a community that believes in what you're doing. And that is what I aim to do, not just for the circus, but for these cities that we are serving. And it's a long road, and it's really hard,
So, Kevin, for people who haven't been to the circus yet,
tell
them what they can expect. There's no animals, and I know that I've seen 4 of them in your tenure that you've been here, and the acts change year to year. I mean, there's a couple of holdovers, it seems. There are a couple of clowns that have held over, and a flea circus that I remember very well because the fleas were very high.
That was a great act.
Yeah. So what can we look forward to this year?
Oh my goodness.
So and I want to get in there because you have Far Beyond, which is what we're going to have here in St. Augustine. And then it looks like out west you have Decade of Dreams.
Yes, that was the production that was here last year.
Okay,
is out there in California this year.
So it's
so we've grown to 2 units. So
That's
there's
awesome.
now 2 completely distinct touring shows, and each of them now we extend from 22 to 45 cities. That means each of those shows is going to visit all of them. It'll just be over a 2-year cycle, and they'll just be sort of staggered. And in this way, we'll only be putting a brand new show together every year. But there's still also a lot of more flow with artists might come and go. Some artists never been able to have the resources to offer such a thing, but someone who had a gig in Europe for a very fancy circus show at Christmas and needed the last month of the year off from the regular contract. So you need to find someone else to come and fill in. And when you have, 3 or 4 of these things going on, it ends up being quite a bit. I'm wearing the ringmaster hat, but...
so you juggle well.
Yeah, doing what I can. It's a manner.
All right. So you're a father. You say you have 2 children. All right. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, all right, you have 1 child. It's hard. You have 2 children. Oh, it's only going to be twice as hard, but it's almost like 5 times as hard. So now you have 2 going at once. It's not just twice as hard. It's almost 4
different.
times as hard. It's very different.
And this is key. We went from a team that had been built over 10 years and people with deep senses of mutual understanding and respect, years of context like that, and a great care for each other. And so it took a long time. Those core families ended up attracting friends and talented people that they knew, all sort of held together and working together with it's not like we're singing Kumbaya together every night, but there's enough of a core there to sort of police, and it really holds things together. You go through all kinds of difficult challenges when you are dealing with weather, when you're dealing with all the myriad things that change and all of the movement. And having a family with you is, that's part of the reason why that has been part of the circus since forever. You derive value out of being together as a family. You are all working gainfully together. There's like a lifestyle about the travel. But that dynamic anyways, it makes it more difficult when the proverbial shit hits the fan, that you're not going to go flying off and splitting. You get down the road together. So doing that now, to take a totally new group of people who don't know each other in some cases, but certainly have no multi-year context. And also, this is a huge challenge. We were able to borrow the people from the Andy unit. I call it the older unit. Now my two girls are Andy and Billy. So the older unit is Andy and the newer one is Billy. So that's how we refer to them on the unit level.
That's awesome.
So anyways,
Easy for you to remember.
We were able to borrow some key directors and a tent master and operations director from Andy and bring them out to Billy's location for when they first opened this year. But that was for a week. Mm-hmm. These are the parts. Got it? All right. See you later.
Good luck. Smack on the ass and go.
Right.
I mean, even there's so many details in setting a tent up. Mm-hmm. The SOP, the process of creating an SOP for these various departments. It was another part of the experience of growing to a second thing. And that sounds tedious maybe, but it's so incredibly important. How will you expect people to be successful at something if you're not able to clearly describe to them what your expectations are? Yeah. That's not brain surgery. But getting that and doing that hard business about, well, what really does happen and what is the order in which we do it? And let's take lots of photos and video clips and let's put it into a format where someone who doesn't know anything about this and might be flying in on a plane to help us in some case can look through this, see the videos, and clearly have an idea of what needs to happen. That's not something, most of the tent manufacturers are like, you know what? We built it, but we're not going to show you how to use it because we do not want to be responsible for this. We do have amazing equipment. Canobio is our tent manufacturer, and they're the best in the whole world. So I want the good china.
All right. Now, when I worked at the amphitheater, we always had one guy that was our MacGyver that's on the team. You got to have that guy on the team that, like, you know, if the widget breaks, we go to MacGyver to figure it out. We're
several layers above the original sense of MacGyver that I once did play in. Yeah. It was never in leaving someone's life in the balance there. I suppose just the importance now of looking out for that stuff is so incredible. It always was, but we are so careful and steadfast about safety and about looking out for each other. And just even the way we talk about that there's a sense of respect for that wherever we go. Don't lose a sense of that. If there's an opportunity to refresh and remind ourselves of where we should put our heads right now, let's get that done. That's where it should be. But in that way, it's just part of life. And so we've been successful looking out for each other so far.
All right. Now, Lenny, you've been 6-7 years. All right.
I've been to 5 of your 8 shows here.
Yeah. So which act really sticks out to you? Because I know which one sticks out to me and it was the very first show that we did, and it was your aerial woman. She was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
And
the hoop, just the hoop in the air?
It was the hoops, and she had the ribbon. And
the chiffon.
Really.
That must have been Dara Lacey. She's a Cuban.
Yeah. So, and phenomenal. And I happened to be sitting in the front row. I was like, please don't fall. Please don't. Right. The entire time I was like, you're going to be splattered all over me.
Right on.
Please don't fall. But it was incredible, the talent. And I remember sitting there going, I'm seeing this in St. Augustine.
Right.
This is really cool. You know, and so what act kind of stood out with you?
The aerialists were fabulous, and there's a couple of I don't know if they were brother and sister
jugglers or
well, yeah, but they would juggle each other.
Acrobat.
I mean hand to hand. If you're talking about Manny and Ilanai Acosta, they're Cubans as well, but they've been the ones who've been with me the longest. They're in California right now.
Child.
They've had 2 children, and they've both become American citizens since we've all been working together.
Excellent.
And they're just an extraordinary, awesome, amazing example of an immigrant story that is just beautiful. They're wonderful people. I'm so grateful for the commitment. So many people who've seen shows in St. Augustine because of that family, what that family has done with me. I owe so much to them. I'm so grateful for them. Manny, if you hear this, or Ilanai, I do love you. And but anyway, so it really has come down in many cases in one's life. It does. There's core people that are ultimately have such a huge impact on your life.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you drove up from Winter Garden from Orlando today just to do
it's
this
a pleasure
interview.
to speak with y'all.
And we really,
I'm
truly,
so happy.
really, truly
tell.
appreciate it. And Lenny's like, oh, we got to get. I knew I was going to get a hold of you at some
So
point.
you knew it was me. You knew it was me.
I didn't. No, I've been pestering him to bring you in
He had no idea.
build up some momentum for the circus, which in St. Augustine doesn't necessarily need it.
Right on.
But I still want to get you in here for the opportunity to do this.
I'm grateful for it, baby.
Because, like I said, when you and I met, you had this vision, you had this dream, and to see how you succeeded with it is just such a delight for me and for everybody who gets to go to your circus.
There are so many communities across the country whose support have allowed it to continue in St. Augustine, as much as St. Augustine has contributed. I hope that St. Augustine knows that, and I wish, I aspire to be a part of shining light on what is possible when a team works together. And fostering that. I've felt a great evolution happen in my mind and my life over the last couple of decades. And I want life to be about joyfulness and gratitude. Gratitude. We have so much to be thankful for. Yeah. And I believe that if you have a deep sense of gratitude for what you have, that when you are interacting with other people, you have a much better chance of doing that with some empathy, with actually listening also to try and understand their point of view and where they're coming from. I feel that we could really use more of that energy.
Something I've been working on.
Right on.
And my final question, because I see a lot of comparisons with you and the gentleman who started the Savannah Bananas, and that's like your next stop.
Yes, we're going to Savannah. Yes,
yeah, so
I'm excited for that.
That's like your next stop. But your energy and love for what you do and his dream and the stories cross over so much, and you bring so.
He's had an amazing success. He's had a huge impact with that team and in the club and all of the players, all the performers, but all of those fans and all of those venue owners, and that's really an amazing story.
Yeah, and not even that, but like you become a part. The 2 weeks you're in that community, you become a part of that community.
Definitely.
And I think he's done an amazing job with that. He's got a group called the Banana Fosters. He's about foster children and bringing in people. Awesome. But I see, when I see him, a lot of time I see your face at the same time.
Right on. I'll take that as a compliment.
It's
right up there with Dick Van Dyke.
It's 100% a compliment. And if you're still dancing at 99.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Three cheers to Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of my favorites of all time. But how many of these shows do you actually participate and sing? Because you were the shows I saw, you were singing at the beginning of every show and was there and engaged in it. Are you still that active in that side of it, the performance side?
At the moment, I am in the show, and I will be in the show in St. Augustine. So I'm looking forward to looking people in the eye while I'm wearing a tailcoat and a top hat, and hopefully making you feel slightly uncomfortable for a moment. But then it would give way to laughter, peals of laughter.
But you're tall. You can pull that off. Me and Lenny, the tailcoat would be dragging. It'd be dirty.
It's a really special place. And being that the amphitheater is awesome, that the glow of Christmas time and just that moment when everything has sort of those, I don't know, it feels like cotton balls all around it. I don't know, maybe we're trying to block it out. It's been so wonderful to be there at that time every year for all these years. Yeah,
well, you're definitely welcome back. When you're back in town, I won't make you drive again, and I appreciate.
Dude, it's not a big deal. My house is right around the corner here, so I love being here. Yeah,
that's wonderful. No, really, really do appreciate. Lenny, do you have a final question?
I'm just going to encourage everybody to get tickets and see the show, because it's a night that you will enjoy. Bring the grandparents, bring the kids, bring everybody. Yeah. It's a great family event. And you're gonna meet and see some very, very talented people.
Yes, I mean, of course, it's my job to say that. If you have tickets, I recommend you come out during that hour before the show, because there's really cool stuff that goes on inside the tent, and you can get to pick your seat, whatever the section is you picked, and so you get the better choice of seats. They're going to be I mean, God willing, it should be packed.
Yeah.
I have a feeling things are going along well. So I see numbers that are looking really good. It's really going to be a good Christmas time.
And where can people get their tickets?
LiveYourCircusDream.com.
Okay.
You could go to VenardosCircus.com, but many of you seem to have trouble spelling that.
They throw an extra R in.
They do. They make it Vernardos or
They throw an extra-
Venados.
And I caught myself doing that.
Vernardos.
So I was like, no.
It's all right. The
There's-
whole circus is actually just an elaborate ruse to put my name up in large letters so people can spell it.
Yes.
That's a joke.
And Blake, if you could put that in the comments so people can find it and help themselves get tickets for this wonderful event, that'd be really appreciated.
And it starts December 18th and it runs through January 4th.
Yes. So there are 3 sort of weekends, and through all that, all kinds of shows during the Christmas week and New Year's. There's multi times during the week. So I'm looking forward to being a part of entertaining a lot of tourists that are going to come down here to St. Augustine, have a wonderful time, and eat at the restaurants and visit the places and do the things, because it's such a beautiful place to be at Christmas time.
So me and my 6-year-old will be there.
Beautiful.
And she will probably I'll have to buy Ariel ribbons and rings and stuff after she does.
I have a complimentary cotton candy for her. Everyone who is a host of a podcast called 904 Now, they get free cotton candy. So it's good for both of you guys.
Yeah. We both can crush some cotton
Right
candy.
on.
So
Sweet.
Yeah.
We make it fresh, baby.
Yeah. No, this has become, as I said, a family tradition. This is one of the gifts my sister-in-law gives to my wife and I and her 2 children.
That's lovely.
And we've been going together as a family, as I said, for 5 years.
That's awesome.
Kevin, anything we need to get out in the before the next 2 weeks comes up? Shoot me a text and
Definitely, brother. I appreciate it.
We'll pump it out for you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
All right, Blake, do you have any questions for our magical guest?
I believe it was a magical interview, so it's a fantastic job.
Thank you, brother.
And there was a question, Kevin, can people buy tickets at the gate?
They can. Should I just record this? We're rolling. Fine. You can buy them at the gate. They open 1 hour before each show time, and if there are available tickets for that performance, you can purchase them there before the show, during the hour before the show. But any of the advanced tickets, you're gonna have to do online. If you're in a horrible way and you can't do it, we'll of course come up to the tent and we will take care of you. I will take you back to my trailer and we will figure it out online. There are some people that still want to come with a $100 bill or something like that. Well, the cash is all right, but actually we've gone cashless. This is more information than you give a hoot about, but I'm just on a roll.
But you've also, I mean, a lot of the shows sell out.
Yes, so that's
especially
the
in
thing.
St.
So I
Augustine,
really
too,
recommend, I don't want any screaming sad children.
Or adults.
Or adults.
Come on.
So just go online. It's liveyourscircusdream.com. And if you have any issues, you can go on Facebook and send us a direct message. And Miss Cynthia is going to, like a duck on a June bug, like white on rice, she's going to be on your message and wanting to tend to whatever questions that you have.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cynthia out there in California, looking out for our admin.
Yeah, and I'm on the Venardos Circus.com. Go read, if you don't have to listen to us. Go read some of these testimonials.
Yeah.
And they're beautiful and strong.
Thanks.
So
There's almost 7,000 of them, and we currently, I know that someone could probably put a turd in the punch bowl, but we currently have a 100% approval rating. And so when you have 7,000 reviews that have been positive, or pardon me, 7,000 reviews of which 100% are positive, that means there's a margin of less than 1% there. So there might be 10 or something like that. But just in the general galaxy of providing something that universally gives people an excellent experience, that's something I'm pretty proud of.
that's
He said, tooting his horn.
No, but that's what you're here for.
Yes.
You're here to toot your
He's
horn.
a horn tooter.
The ringmaster's supposed
Yes, I
to do that.
suppose. Right.
Ringmaster's supposed
That's
to
your
do
job.
And not.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. If you would, please support our sponsors out there. Get on VenardosCircus.com before they get here. Check them out. Get your tickets early. I
You will not be disappointed.
suggest the VIP seating because it is amazing to be sitting.
If you want to be right up
there.
close, the
Right on
VIP is
top of it.
great. The premium is also, that's my favorite, honestly. It's sort of front and center, and it's this gallery that's right in front of, so you get a sort of wider view. But if you want to be up close to the VIPs. But anyways, that's...
Now I have to ask my sister-in-law which level she bought.
All right, well, and you could save $10 with each one.
Right, I know.
I don't know.
All right, Benny, this is the part where we wave to our audience.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.